Coach, you said before the game, and you always say it, it's the biggest game because it's the next game, but this was a pretty special one tonight.
Yeah, it was.
You jumped out and you never trailed.
Right, and that was key for us, to be able to jump out fast. That's what you got to do against these guys. You don't want to be playing them from behind, and you can see why, because they're never really out of the game with the way they do things offensively. Very explosive and all of that. So very, very proud of the way that we started fast, built a little bit of a lead, and then kept making plays offensively and defensively, special teams wise, to keep us in the game and to do the things that we needed to do. That's how zero turnovers. We talked about zero turnovers. Win the battle of explosives. I don't know what the stats are or anything like that, but I think we probably had more explosives than they did. And the kicking game was good for us. We had, Cedric had some good returns. The snap deal, we got a touchdown 2 or 3 plays later on that. So, I mean, it was turnovers, explosives, and kicking game. Here we are in 2017, and it gets right back to, they threw the pick six to Trey Smith. That confidence, everything else went sky high at that point in time.
Coach, no disrespect to Sam Houston by any stretch of the imagination, but I do feel I kind of got the sense this week, and I know Chris did too, talking to you today, that you guys were a little sick of hearing about the Bearcats and how great they were offensively, and you want to come out and not only win the game but make a statement, say, hey, you know what, we're pretty good too.
Exactly. I mean, there's no doubt. I hope I wasn't too hard on old Chris. Did Chris say something before the game?
He said, Coach,
Coach, they're there. They got the best receiver, all 3 wide receivers, first team all conference. The quarterback is National Player of the Year. And this is not the first time I've heard that. I've had to. So I said, how do you stop them, Coach? Well, what do we do? Just throw our hands up before we even get going? This is why you play the game. This is why you still play the game, because of games like this. And on paper, but I like looking at all that stuff, and that analytics where you look at everything on paper. And to be honest with you, third down, I know ours were probably bad tonight, but we were ahead of them offensively and defensively third down coming into this game. And then that was about it.
That was about it, Coach.
I had to find something to hang my hat on. I found third down.
Hey, look, 41-30 is all you got to hang your hat on.
That's right.
Coach,
right.
I wanted to ask you, too, and I don't know if this had anything to do with it. You talked about you guys were, obviously you had a little extra time to prepare, and you looked at a lot of different things, including the James Madison tape. And the numbers against James Madison last year for Briscoe were completely out of the ordinary for him. And tonight, same deal, 22 of 50. If you had told me going in he was going to end up 22 of 50, I would have told you were crazy. 44%. What did you do against him that you felt like worked so well?
Everything happens for a reason, all that. What we went through last year, we were good on defense last year, very, very good on defense. And Briscoe made us look like we weren't very good on defense. And we took that to heart, and Coach Stewart and his staff really worked hard during the summer of getting a plan for people like this, because it was them, and then 2 weeks later it was Eastern Washington, and at some point in time, whereas they're talking about we got to find a way to run the football. What we talk about is we got to find a way to because we're going to face these teams as in the regular season with Sam Houston, and in the playoffs against your Eastern Washington and people like that. So they did a great job of mixing up their coverages. How we pride ourselves on stopping the run, and we said, well, that's great when you're playing teams that run the football, but when you play these teams that sling it, that throw it 50 times, and Coach Stewart did a great job of mixing up the calls. The corners, Trey Smith, outstanding. Tavion Garrison fought his butt off, did tremendous. 9, Robert Rochelle fought his butt off. Thought our safeties played well.
Yeah.
We got pressure. Chris Terrell, he had 7 offsides, but I tell him we'll take the interferences, we'll take the offside. We're playing with have an edge.
Yeah, he came up big late with big play on the run, and then the sack. Yeah,
great player. He and Chris Chambers did a great job, and even Bubba had a sack there earlier, I think.
Coach, one last thing I was going to ask you about was, and I know, Monty had asked you about it too, but 89 plays run by Sam Houston. I think they'd run about 50 at the halftime break. It looked like they were starting to gain a little bit of a foothold there late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter. Did you say anything? Did you do anything? Did you guys keep grinding? I mean, what was it that kept you guys, going on the defensive side to give you a chance here at the end?
I don't know if you noticed, but in the first half, and I'm, and it is always this way. We play 3 games. We don't need a timeout. First 3 games of the year, we don't even call a timeout. We don't need them. So we get in this guy, I tell Coach Stewart, I said, look, we're going to use all 3 timeouts defensively if we need to. Whenever they get it, whenever they go on a run, it's just like basketball. Let's call timeout, stop the run, and then regroup. And you notice right before the half, we didn't have any timeouts left. We had to kick that field goal, right? The one time we need the timeout, we ain't got it. But I do think it helped us stop some runs there in the first half. And then in the second half, we use those timeouts. I don't know if y'all know on defense to stop their runs, to come back down, get everybody squared away, and I thought our defensive staff, defensive players did a tremendous job of staying focused. Even if they had a play here or a play there, bring it back down, let's start over again. And those guys did a great job of playing one snap at a time. I thought Hayden did an outstanding job of throwing the football, making great decisions. I thought, Brandon Cox went and got a ball. Brandon Myers went and got a ball. There are a lot of people that Jakari Dillard. What about that?
That was a great play. Ran out of a tackle, no doubt.
Yes, I mean, that was the third and whatever, and what a big-time play from Jakari Dillard.
Now, first of all, great win, but just another day at the office. But you guys came out fast tonight, it seemed like.
We did. That was an issue we had last year, and I think specifically against Sam Houston, too, is we didn't start very fast, but we tried to get it going second, third, fourth quarter. But tonight we came out and we were clicking on a lot of cylinders, and the defense put us in some really good positions to be successful. So.
Of course, your receivers went after the ball. Dillard went after when Brandon Cox on the touchdown down here, the window was going closed on that one. You threaded the needle pretty well.
Man, that's Sam Houston. They play a tight man coverage most of the game, and when they do that, you just got to trust your receivers that they're going to win and throw it up and give them a chance. And for the most part, all night, Brandon, Roman, Brandon Myers, everybody made a lot of big plays, and that contributes to a 41-30 win, obviously. And
you're able to run the football a little bit as well.
A little bit. I mean, me personally, wasn't my best rushing night, but as a team, man, I'm just happy. I don't know. I have a lot going through my head. I think the O-line played a great game, gave us opportunities to go downfield. Carlos had a few good runs. Kier had some huge runs early in the game. There's just a lot of positives in beating, I guess, the number 3 team in the nation. That's a great game all around.
Talk about the O-line a little bit because they really kept you clean the first half.
They did. I think they did a great job in the run game against a really good defense, honestly, and the passing game. I had time to drop back and throw, and I think the one time I did get sacked, the sack was by one of the best D linemen in the nation in the FCS. So getting hit once or twice by him all night it's a phenomenal job by the O-line.
Of course, you lost down there last year, but winning at home has got to be just a little bit sweeter.
Oh, absolutely. Winning's always good. Winning on the stripes is it tops it all.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.